frustrated. Did the game just keep going after I put it into sleep mode? Get out of here. Suck, I guess. Alright, whatever. Oh. Maybe. I don't know. What was I doing?
I saw you slide down that rope before. And
yeah.
Strange, too, since that device you used is... There I was, thinking I'd invented it.
You did invent
anyway,
it. This is
I'm
not day
sorry
2.
to ask, but is there any chance you'd be willing... Well, I've been trying to get this rare flower from the rock spire in the middle of the lake. It's too steep to climb, so Do you think you could use the Oh, thank you. It would help me a lot. There's no rush, just whenever you get a chance. All right.
Still kind of like turned around where to do this. I think yeah. I got it coming up from the other side. Alright. Oh, this is the door. Okay. So when I do something, this is where I need to go. Got some. There's like a bunch of money in there, so I get that guy to not kill himself. Apparently. Is this the tavern? Thanks. Yeah, why? What? Why would I do that? What? When was that? Listen.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold praying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again.
Yeah. I mean, I just found it online, but I can look it up. I gotta like hop on this and hop off like immediately. That. Oof. Oh, so close. It's gotta be like immediately. Okay. Let's try to kind of figure out. And then that's the door. Oh my gosh. Like jumping immediately. I should jump off, do I even need a zip line? What are you doing in there? Back.
Salve.
Wait a second. All right. Oh. Nice.
Don't you just love springtime? Ah, it's you again. Now. Brilliant! You did it! Well done! This is going to make her so happy. What I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, but on the other hand, I can't shake the feel. You mean, aside from... You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity, the breaking of which would be an extremely serious affront to the gods, and even if she was just suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her execution. Unchaste Vestals get buried alive. But at the same time, she's just so kind and... I don't know what to do. What do you think? What would you do? Now that I hear you say that out loud, I hear... What I need is a go-between. What do you say? Do you think you could... Wonderful! Now, all I need you to do is give her the flower and tell her it's from a secret admirer. Tell her... Thank you. Come back.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta... Oh, I see. So, it's from... Of course I do. That man is a wonderful human, but he is the least subtle secret. Plus, he's been trying for weeks to get his hands on this flower. He went to so much effort, too. He'd just stand there each morning, looking at... Tell that adorable oaf that my Vestal's vow of chastity ends once I turn 36. So, if we ever make it out of here, and he doesn't mind, then tell... I hope so.
Oh, what?
I don't, I'm quite sure. We asked, but here, it seems... I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet of... Would you like to hear it? Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small... They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay there, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. They invite these strangers into their house, and they begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that... And then she notices something strange. Says to her husband, Philemon, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be duped. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed. So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship. But I like to think it's that we should always... I'm pleased to... It must be... It'll be between Sentius, the... Why do you ask? I like the idea, but I know Galerius well, and his position has always... It was only yesterday that he said to me he'd only ever run. So, I suppose if you'd like to see Galerius elected magistrate... All of the male citizens who are willing and able to... Well, you're not a citizen yet. But if it's any consolation, there are... By using whatever gifts the... I'm responsible for announcing... You can, assuming... As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk. But I suppose... As you wish. Certainly. Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me. Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend... What else? Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried... What else? That's true. It's as I feared. Let me ask you this. Did you happen... And did you have... I see. And... Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to... But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together. All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. It was C-H-A, Charon, the fairy Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means. I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can. That was my first thought too. In the old stories, but it was also possible for the living to reach it without... Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, each of them is slightly different. But they always involved the souls of the dead, meeting a... It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a... Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek... To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described. And he, she, they seem to appear to... You say you saw a young... And I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a... And Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kamut Tabal wearing an eagle. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood. I suspect the only way you'll solve this... Good question. Let's see. But that never made any sense to me. In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might... No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuade, and finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit. So it seems you have two options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or... It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is... And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the Golden Rule. We know that, thanks to... All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but... Shh! Is everyone so That option would be the boldest, but also the... As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the... Are you telling me that you... I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means. So, if you want to... Who knows? Perhaps... But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't... I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques. It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple. A dedication to the god. You'll find them all over Rome. but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a that means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques. I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the... As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their... First, Proserpina. What we do know about, it's said, if the stories are true, the problem is, how do we leaving that aside for a moment, there is also... Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you will... Can you tell me more? Is it the same? Fascinating. Perhaps she is a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps, if she has indeed been abducted, it would tell me. Has she told you anything that might lead you to the way? Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you... All right. I would suggest not discussing this. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve, friend. Oh, you sound sick. All right, let me... Oh.
Oh, you're here. And, there's a lot. What was... Let's just forget... Not for a few weeks now. I remember because they kept looking at... The one word I kept hearing was... Van... All right. Sit.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns, just as the ocean accepts. But it does. Say it. Then it... I thought I saw it. I had to tell myself it was... I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I will do my best. There is a downward path, gloomy with fate. The sluggish Styx, the wide, thorny, as the ocean accepts the... There, the bloodless. Others follow their I hope I have done it just. And now we share a secret. It's as if you've lived. Friend.
What are you doing in... She needs the... What? Quick, Yulia. Hopefully in a moment. That was extraordinary. How did you know she... A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard. That was like the gods. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned. In the meantime, You made it into the palace. Willowback, I should have known. It was... I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and... Thank you. I'm really... I wish just... A city with Patsnake. Absolutely. Oh no, there was one, but that was Neve. Well, until she suddenly lost... This changes it. The last time I saw her. And then she's been gone. But I really wish I could... One of my patients... He's become... I just know... You did? Willow, I have some... Thank you. I'm really glad. Sure. Do you really want to... Gladly. That's a shit.
Oh, it's you. Was there something you wanted? As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me. The golden rule. That's the least. Please, just... persistent as... All right. I'd been here about a week. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. She was supposed to be my friend, so she suggested I take her. I had to sign an agreement, saying I'd work off the debt I paid Aurelia. And she... Hemlock. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without... In fact, he just thanked her. That's what I said. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I thought about resisting too, but he locked me in his villa, confiscated everything I owned as collateral. His wife Claudia was just as bad. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours. Only for... Those two took everything from my hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. I brought it on myself. I trust... When I've recovered, I expect their thug. Only this time. Honestly, I doubt it. It seems this, at least until someone a lot. But it doesn't matter. He's in exactly the same position as I am. He's probably already... If so, I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Welcome
Oh
to...
my gosh, this chick.
That's good. If you're not well, we've all... I still... All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing?
Why do you...
I know. Please.
I'm sorry, but...
Please, I'll help him. Thank you.
Let me guess. You know... Well, you don't understand. It's too... If I backed out now, I'd be... Oh, really? That changes things a little, but we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Really? Wait. You'd do that for us? It seems today... Thank you, friend. Thank you. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news.
I love your clothes. So back again. All right.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name... I hear we have... Well, Malleolus is talking... Nice to...
Greetings and salutations. My friend... Ah, I knew this day would come. I do not... Please, let us leave. Very well, but the magistrate would... For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to... Each day, I leave offerings of food, in the hope that we may have a bountiful... The offering it is... So I ask, who? Or stranger still? Once I sat... Nothing! Nobody entered. When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help. It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your... I do not... But you do... Ah, but... And in a city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear, they do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must... At first, I pull my hair out. After... But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old... The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics. He cannot help it. Like it. And besides, it makes him... I hope that...
Name's Gruffy. What business is... Willow bark. And this will... Finally, some relief. I've been... It was too much. Start... I owe you one. No idea what you're... Look, it's the rheumatism. I know that's not... And I know... I'll leave him alone from now on. I'm going to go and...
Welcome back. What Demonos... You went snooping in his place? Have you... Really? How did you... Poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Really? That's promising. Nice to talk to you.
Hello?
Do you like it?
But... well...
Like... Yeah.
Go. He said he gave me all I remember. Now nobody looks. Bye-bye.
Come and join me by the fire. Welcome, welcome. It's a sincere... Tell me. Then perhaps the fates... I will tell you everything I know. But first, the one thing I long for above all else, let us find out with this simple question. Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Now, will you join... Wonderful. Would you say you know the difference? You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here... Well, that's reassuring. And you see out there in the world, being a... So we would tell lies and bend rule, but under the golden rule. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be... That is an excellent question, and it leads direct... So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct? Are you sure? Or is it possible that you... So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong mean to us individually? So if a man feels that stoning to death his unfaithful wife is... I agree, but why? I see. So you get to decide right from wrong. And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person. My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that in mathematics we would call it an asymptote. Because the only way to create a utopia is with this, and no other is the root from which a type and life under tyranny. I'm glad to. In any case, thank you for. You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave? I was a quarrelsome young man. And back then I used to enjoy verbally. It became heated. He drew a gladiator. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the light. They are one and the same. The Romans call him. My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return. I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, I'm afraid I am the only one left. Some from malnutrition. It has been lonely. Before my living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, and sometimes when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the off. The greater challenge is the isolation. So I like to imagine arguments, like so many things in life. As you wish. Ha! Did we not discuss it at... You seek the plaque bearing the Egypt. It is a cursed object, and I would be happy. I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, when the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own. Thus the shrine of Persephone became... And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive... They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the temple of... However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place, an even older plaque. We had no idea until, as a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out of... You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts. But it turns out this game has been good. I think it is best you head through the catacomb. There are certain things... Take this key. I enjoyed our chat.
Stop! Do not come any closer. Who are you? I am Kabash. Trousers, boots, curious. That is welcome news. I was planning to return it Here, take it, and... Now, as for the other plaque. Indeed, I have it right here. I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit, and there it was. You may not. In fact, I am about to destroy it. Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie. I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is? Indeed, and I see you know our history. This is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing as Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish. Their souls came here in when they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris. The true, even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people, as if that desecration was not enough. They built over this place. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power. I am glad to hear it. Which brings me, it is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient. It would imply the gods of Egypt, and that my people did to them. I sense a deception. But you will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into... You are too late. It is done. You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness. If it will help you to see reason, I am from Rakotis, which you may know as Alexandria, the name of the city since the Romans had taken over from the Greeks. I took when the fires broke out last year, I tried to help. On my 7th trip, a passenger demanded I wait for his brother. But I told him his brother would have to save himself. I awoke on the banks of the river to a stranger wearing a... It did not dawn on me until much later that he was... This is where I belong, as caretaker. I think if someone is to break the golden rule, do to the doer. As for the punishment that will come from it, I do not know. What could possibly... All I know is... Most good. Wait, you would plunge into the depth. We...
That's good enough for now. Oh no, I fell into some sort of trap. Shoot, I did that thing. There we go.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here. I disagree. I warned you against coming down. You have undermined and did... Very well, I will listen. But why should I let you live? Why? To what end? But why? What business could you have with Osiris? Blasphemous fool! You have sealed your own... Ha, good. I welcome it. You see, the philosopher told me that each time it breaks, I can only hope.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Alright, that was exciting.